In one of the most awkward and humiliating moments of his career, Belal Muhammad recently found himself completely overlooked at the UFC weigh-ins. Despite being the reigning UFC welterweight champion and headlining a major event against Jack Della Maddalena, Muhammad was ignored by UFC staff at the weigh-in, with one commissioner failing to recognize him altogether. The staff member had to be corrected by a fellow UFC employee before Muhammad could step onto the scales for his title defense. This incident was not just a simple mistake. It felt like a slap in the face to a fighter who has been putting in the work for years to earn his shot at greatness. It was a painful reminder that, despite his accomplishments, Muhammad still faces an uphill battle in earning the respect he deserves. The moment itself was incredibly awkward, with Muhammad forced to clarify his identity before he was allowed to continue with the weigh-in process. For a champion about to defend his title in a high-stakes main event, this lack of recognition was a striking moment of disrespect. The whole scenario highlighted a broader issue that Muhammad has had to deal with throughout his career: the underdog narrative. Even though he's currently the champion, many fans and pundits still view him as the weakest champion in the division, a perception that Muhammad seems to embrace in his own unique way. Speaking to the media later, Muhammad shared how he felt about the situation, admitting that he actually thrives off the disrespect. "I like to be the guy that they think will lose," he said. "I like to be the guy that's called the weakest champion." For Muhammad, this narrative fuels his determination and is used to proving people wrong. His entire career has been defined by people doubting him and saying that he wouldn't be able to beat top-tier fighters. Yet, time and again, he's defied the odds, and now he plans to do it again in his upcoming defense against Della Maddalena. UFC President Dana White has confirmed that the stakes for this fight are massive. The winner of the bout between Muhammad and Della Maddalena will be in prime position to shape the welterweight division for the foreseeable future. But for Muhammad, this fight represents far more than just a title defense. It's an opportunity to finally silence the critics who have been questioning his place at the top of the division. For years, people have said that someone like Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, or even Della Maddalena would eventually dethrone him. Muhammad isn't just fighting for his title. He's fighting to prove that he belongs at the top and that he can't be knocked off by the new wave of challenges. One of the key talking points heading into the fight is Muhammad's decision to stand and strike with Jack Della Maddalena, a lifelong striker known for his precision and knockout power. Muhammad, known for his relentless wrestling and pressure-based fighting style, has shocked many by stating that he plans to stand and trade punches with Della Maddalena instead of relying on his usual game plan. Kamaru Usman, a former champion and longtime rival of Muhammad, was quick to criticize this decision, stating that it's not the kind of move a true championship-level fighter would make. "You don't go into a fight ignoring your strengths," Usman said, pointing out that Muhammad's elite wrestling and pressure game were what got him to the top in the first place. Muhammad's stand-up has improved over the years, but Usman believes it would be foolish to abandon the grappling tools that got him this far. Belal's stand-up has definitely come a long way, but let's not get it twisted. His wrestling and pressure are what earned him this title shot, Usman added. If Muhammad were to strictly stand with Della Maddalena, he would be giving the Australian fighter the opportunity to showcase his knockout power, and that could spell disaster for the champion. The risk here is significant, and Usman's words seem to be an attempt to warn Muhammad about the dangers of straying too far from his roots. But despite the warnings from Usman and others, Muhammad remains confident in his decision. "I don't take anything that these guys say to heart," he explained. Muhammad is not concerned with the opinions of others, and he believes that if he sticks to his game plan and executes it properly, he'll emerge victorious. However, the pressure is on him. If he sticks to his plan of standing with Della Maddalena and it doesn't go well, his critics will be quick to point out how he failed to use his strongest weapons. In a more bizarre development, Alex Pereira's cryptic social media activity has caught the attention of UFC pundits, with Ariel Helwani and Luke Thomas both questioning the legitimacy of Pereira's claim that his account was hacked. Pereira posted a tweet that seemed to hint at tension with the UFC, stating, "If they want to play games, I can play too." A few hours later, however, Pereira claimed that his account had been hacked, a story that both Helwani and Thomas find hard to believe. They pointed out how unusual it is for a hacker to post something so specific and related to the UFC, rather than just spamming or promoting scams. With both Helwani and Thomas raising eyebrows at Pereira's explanation, it's clear that something is off in this situation, whether it's a failed negotiation tactic or something more significant. As for Muhammad, his journey continues to be one of resilience and determination. He's been overlooked time and time again, and his UFC career has been defined by having to prove people wrong. His title defense against Jack Della Maddalena will be another opportunity to silence the doubters once and for all. Whether he sticks to his wrestling game or decides to stand and strike, Muhammad's goal is clear: to prove that he belongs at the top of the welterweight division. If he succeeds, the doubters who have always said he was the weakest champion will have to eat their words.